Hello students, myself Dr. Manisha Taylor, Arihanta Institute of Teacher Training. Today we are going to discuss about Phillips Exum model of teaching. Now, what is meaning of teaching? This is a definition of teaching. Teaching is a process by which one person helps others to achieve knowledge and skill. Teaching is a system of action intended to produce a learning. Now, what is the structure of teaching? Teaching consists of three variables, that is teacher, student and content. Teacher as an independent variable, student as a dependent variable, and the content or strategy of presentation is a intervening variable. Okay. The content, or we can say the learning experiences, is an intervening variable. What are the phases of teaching? Teaching is a complex task. For performing these tasks, a systematic planning is needed. Teaching is to be considered in terms of various steps, and the different steps constituting the process are called the phases of teaching. What are the phases of teaching? There are three phases of teaching. First is a pre-active phase, which is also called as the planning phase. Second is interactive phase, called as the execution phase, or it is also called as the actual classroom teaching phase. And the third phase is the post-active phase or evaluation phase. In the first phase, that is the pre-active phase of teaching, it is also called as a planning phase. In this phase, a teacher performs many tasks. These tasks include preparation of lesson plan, arranging furniture and equipment within the classroom, studying test reports, reading section of textbook. These are the activities performed in this phase. The pre-active phase has again a sub-stages which involve formulating or fixing of the goal. The teacher formulates the teaching objective in behavioral terms by using taxonomy of educational objectives. These objectives are, it is in the form of entering behavior of student, or it is in the form of terminal behavior of students. The second is decision making about the content. After fixation of goal, he has to arrange, or he or she has to arrange the sub-content in logical sequence. The content should be so arranged that it facilitates a transfer of learning. Third is a decision making about the strategy for teaching. Here, in this stage, the teacher selects appropriate strategy or tactics keeping in view content and level of student. Developing teaching strategy for specific subject matter. After the decision making about the teaching method and strategy for presentation of content, but it is not sufficient. So, teacher also decide how, when and which strategy will he use during classroom teaching. The next is the interactive phase of teaching. The interactive phase is the actual classroom teaching. It includes all those behavior and activities which a teacher uses after entering the classroom. The teacher provides verbal stimulation of various kinds to the students, makes explanation, asks questions, listen to the students' responses and provide guidance. Again, this interactive phase subdivided into three phases: sizing of the class, diagnosis of the class, action and reaction of achievement. Now we see first sizing of class. As the teacher enters the classroom, she pursues the size of class and throws her eyes on all students. This is sizing of the class. Similarly, the student also sizes up the personality of teacher in a few seconds. Hence, at this stage, the teacher must look like a teacher first. She should possess all those qualities which are supposed to be present in a good teacher. Diagnosis of learner. The teacher tries to diagnose the level of achievement in his student in three areas: ability of learner, interest and attitude of learner, academic background of learner. This may be done by asking some questions or inquiring about the matter. Action and reaction of achievement. This involves the following operations, or we can say sub-stages. Selection and presentation of stimuli. The stimuli in the action or activity of teaching can be verbal or non-verbal. The teacher should select the appropriate stimulus. After selecting the stimuli, the teacher should present them before the students. Feedback, or we can say reinforcement. The teacher should give feedback as very good. That's better. Try again. Can you better it? This type of feedback given by the teacher to students. Deployment of strategy. At the time of interaction, the teacher produces such method or strategies which affects the activity of students. The deployment of the teaching strategy turns the students-teacher interaction impressive. For imparting the content effectively, the strategies of reinforcing the students and of controlling their verbal and non-verbal behavior are used. In the third stage, means the post-active phase, we can say this phase as a evaluative stage. In this phase, it is related to both teaching and learning. It provides necessary feedback to the teacher. The teacher analyzes as to what extent the students have grasped the material presented to them. It helps the teacher to teach things better in future. It helps the teacher to decide whether she should proceed with new content or reteach what has already been taught. This evaluation stage, again, following are the main operations done in this stage: assessing the suitability of objective determine, decision regarding reteaching the content or further taking up the content, assessing the suitability of the instructional material and aids, and assessing the impact of the classroom environment.